Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah, and we have a great show for you today. We are going to talk basketball, we are going to talk beauty, but first, we're going to talk squash. So, welcoming Damon and Nathan from the Madison Squash Workshop. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks.
How are you?
Very
well, thanks.
Good. I'm very excited to learn about this. So now, first of all, Damon, you are the owner of Madison Squash Workshop, and Nathan, you are actually a visiting pro, and I found out as I was prying before we started, you're ranked 134 in the world, so what an honor to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
First of all, for those of us who are not very familiar with this sport, and I have to admit I am one of them, what is squash? Give us some basics.
Well, squash is a racket game. The closest thing you can think about is the closest thing would be to racquetball. It's a much older sport. The rackets are a bit longer, and the ball is quite a lot smaller. And the court is actually a little bit smaller. But what that makes is it's actually for quite a lot of running. It's a racket sport with lots of running. Okay,
so sounds like a good workout. Is this a good workout, this sport?
Yeah. Whatever standard you are, it's a great workout. You know, you can pick a racket up, having not played, and you end up chasing a little black ball like a headless chicken. So it's pretty hard.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds like fun, and it sounds difficult, challenging too. Let's talk about the club a little bit more. You know, what goes on at the club on a daily basis or weekly basis? What's happening?
Well, you know, we have about 70 members. I would say 50 to 60 of those are really quite active. So people come in, they reserve a court. There's a system for people to get partners to play all the time. So there's just sort of general play going on all the time like that. There's also, we have any number of leagues going on. We have a Wednesday night league, which is open to non-members and members alike. Plus we have what are called box leagues. So there's almost every night, the courts are pretty much booked almost all of prime time, which makes me very happy.
Good, so, yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot going on, and let's talk about, do you have any events for people who might be interested in seeing squash for the first time or learning more about it?
Well, as a matter of fact, we do. We hold a professional tournament every year. Nathan played in it.
Yeah, I played it the year before last.
Okay.
You get a good crowd for that.
Yeah,
good.
So we get quite a lot of people there. Coming up on February 22nd at 5, we're having an exhibition match with our teaching pro, who is not here today, but he'll be playing with world number 73, Peter Creed from Wales. And also Lena Hansen, who's the Danish #1 woman player. She'll be playing, I think she's about 18th in the world.
Very exciting. So what a fun event for folks to come out and see some high-level playing. Very, very fun. And what about lessons? If someone wants to get started, do you provide lessons for newcomers?
We do. It's actually part of our sort of introductory package. We actually throw in a 30-minute free lesson to play. We also have a full-time teaching pro who teaches lessons and clinics with group lessons, yeah, people can get introduced to the game quite quickly.
That's exciting. Very neat. And why Madison? What do you think? Is there a need for this sport here in Madison?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the game is in the U.S. is mostly played on the East Coast. The demographic tends to be fairly well educated, and so we have a fairly educated community here. A lot of people who come from other places, you know, from around the world. So our membership is
international.
we have a very international membership. I think we have 17 different countries represented at our club, and I knew that this community would support that kind of club.
Absolutely. And we live in an active area too, and I think despite the weather, right, that you're enjoying right now, despite the weather, we make an effort to stay active all through the winter. And
well, that's the great thing about squash, it's indoors. That's one of the reasons I picked it in England, just because it's normally raining, so, and the squash court's always warm.
Well, and we need indoor sports in winter. That's all you know, unless you're going to go out on the slopes. So that's wonderful. I enjoy that, and that very fun things. Welcome, and best of luck to you for your trip here. And thanks for teaching me some things about a sport I didn't know a lot about. Very exciting.
Cheers,
Appreciate
thank you very
it.
much.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to keep talking sports. We're going to talk basketball after the break here on Talk of the Town.